Hello! Today we are going to learn how to draw this cute little kitty cat. I like to call them fur balls, especially this one since it's based on a circle. If you would like, you can go to our website and download this instruction sheet. You can print that and keep it in your files. So let's get started. Step 1 is to draw a circle. Now we need to place this so that there is room for his big ears and his paws. And usually I like to freehand my circles, but I want to show you something that if you have a lot of trouble freehanding, and many of us do, that you can do, is to use a lid of some sort and just draw around it. So I'm going to do that today just so you can see how we do that. Very simple. Now, of course, you've got to be lucky enough to find a lid of the right size. And there we go. Can you see that? Maybe I should make that a little darker. Now, for you, don't do this part yet. Don't make your lines darker, because you will want to erase some of these. But I want you to be able to see this well. So I'm going to darken this a little bit. Now the paper I'm using this time is a mixed media paper because I want to watercolor this. Right now I'm using a mixed media paper that is 98 pounds, and it works pretty good for these paints. You could use watercolor paper, and if you're not going to paint it, you can use sketching paper or just plain old copy paper. Anything you have will work. In fact, I'd say just practice it on some of your less expensive papers before you use your painting papers. There's my circle is a little darker. Okay, you know, it looks like my lid wasn't a perfect circle, but you know what? Our cat's probably not perfect circle either, since these are whimsical little creatures. Okay, second thing we do, we're going to make the side fur that comes out. Usually you see that on a Tommy. So come along and just make kind of like, what would you call this? Sharks swimming in the ocean? And try to match it on this side, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I started a little high there. There we go. Sometimes it's easier to do it from one side than it is the other. All right. Now we need to put some ears in. And I don't know, to me this is probably the hardest part, is to get the ears to match. Now I need a space between the ears, so I'm going to kind of mark that. That looks pretty good. And then from there I'm going to draw this nice big cat ear. Now let's see how well I can do in matching that ear on this side. Now they don't have to be exactly the same, in that he may have his ears tilted just a little bit different. You know, that'll do, won't it? I'm looking at my sheet here so that if you have it, you can follow along exactly. And we have an inner line here on the ears. So I'm going to do that. This is a fairly simple drawing, but it's really cute. There we go. And I'm going to erase this line right here. This is why it's good not to draw real hard in the beginning, because we do want to erase a lot of these lines, and this may affect my watercolor picture, but that's okay. Here we go, is one of them. Just kind of go back over that where it attaches to the head. There we go. What's next? Oh, we're going to do some eyes next. Now let's put some little circle or ovals. Where do you think we should put our eyes? I think about here on mine. You can put your critter's eyes anywhere you want to. So I'm going to draw an eye here. And an eye here. I erased my little dots there to show me where I wanted to put them. Now, if you're just going to do this as a pencil drawing, you can go ahead and fill these in. If you're going to use it in another way, like for painting, you might want to wait and paint these a color. But, I think I'm going to go ahead and fill these in. Now, this is a living creature, so let's put a little dot somewhere, maybe even a couple. That's the gleam that you see in an eye, and it makes things look a lot more alive. I'm going to fatten this out a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and fill my eye in. If you want to get a nice smooth fill or texture with a pencil, work in tiny circles a lot. And this takes a little patience, but it will look a lot better than if you just scribble it in. There we go, one eye. The eyes are very important parts of a picture. There we go. Now, since this is a whimsical cat, not anatomically correct at all, we're going to give him some eyebrows up here. Be kind of surprised look. There we go. All right, now I think he needs a nose. A nose is kind of like an upside down pyramid. Just curve like this, come down like that, or like a upside down piece of candy corn, and put a little line right there. Hey, he's getting cute already. Now, off that line, we're going to give him his mouth. And it's going to be a smiley mouth. In fact, I think I'll start out here. See that? Smiling real big. And from that smile, we're going to put some whisker dots. How about a little tongue? Right there, a little tongue. Now, let's see. Let's give him some paws. Right down here. I'm going to do one there. One nice fat one there. Right there. That'll do for paws. Now, come right about over to the same area. Try to keep them about the same size, but you don't have to be picky. See, now that definitely is smaller, but I think I'll just leave it. And off those paws, we're going to put some little claws. There. And there's another very important thing we haven't put on here yet, and that's his tail. So let's come out and do a ooh. And another one that will follow that just around. And there's his tail. What? Oh, yes, we need some whiskers, don't we? So let's draw some whiskers off of these whisker dots here. But before we do, let's erase this line that is here between his whiskers and his fur on the side of his head. Let's do that. That way it will be easier to erase it now rather than later. And then I hope yours erases better than mine, because mine is not erasing real well. You can probably see that. But that's good for you to see it. Now you know why we try to draw light when we do these things. Okay, now whiskers. Just come out. Woo! Woo! I always like to put about 3 in. One of them maybe should be a little longer. There we go. And I'm going to come out. Whoop. Woo. There we go. Whiskers. We need a little bit of, well, I don't know that you call these whiskers. And I'm not sure you'd call them eyebrows. But they usually have some right up there. If you look at a cat closely. Look at that. You know what? We're almost done with our cat. Let's put him in some grass. He wants to be comfy. So right down here, just make some swoops with your pencil for grass. Now, at this point, go through and see if there's anything you need to erase. I'm going to see if I can get a little more of those off. You need... That one's okay to stay by the tail. So I think we've erased everything we need to. You'll want to go through and strengthen your lines. If this is going to be a pencil drawing and stay that way, go through and strengthen your lines. If you're going to paint it and you want to use ink lines in your painting, don't do it with pencil. Go ahead, and this is the point where you would ink your drawing. All right. I hope you've enjoyed drawing this cute little critter. And we will be watercolor painting him next. So I hope to see you there. And bye-bye for now.